What is happening, everybody? MG here. MG Covers bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video, The Most Common Error Made by Amateurs and Professionals When Handicapping Football. I am super passionate about this. You're going to get educated a ton on this subject. Before we do that, as always, greatly appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. Personal note with the business, we had the biggest day yesterday in the history of MG Covers with regards to clients signing up for the program. Can't thank you guys enough. I went on this big rant, I think, Saturday. Again, you're going to have to learn this business. The best way to do it is to become educated. Obviously, you can do it the way I did, which was the hard way. I read a lot of Bob McCune books, or you can join this program and expedite the process exponentially to learn the business for only $50 a month. And I'll get into that later. But anyway, greatly appreciate that. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's MG Covers, Covers spelled with a Z at the end. I gave out 5 plays on my Instagram on Sunday. Those plays, I didn't personally play them. They went 3 and 2. You've been extremely profitable. You'd had 2 dogs that cashed. I'll cover that in this video as well. So my point is you get a ton of value simply by following me on social media. Same screen name on Twitter as well. But I give out a ton of content on Instagram. So extremely valuable to follow me to get all that content. All right, so let's dive into this. And when I do teaching points, I always like to use current and real life examples. So I can talk about something, but unless I give you a real life example, it's hard to see the application of that. So the screen you're looking at, this was our first, I just started wagering on college football which was week 3 technically. So the model was still, there was a margin of error in the model because we only had 2 weeks of data. Some teams had only played 1 game, so we have to be extremely cautious. And these were my wagers. I screenshot this. So we had James Madison. We played Tennessee. We played UL Monroe. We played Florida International. We played Rutgers. We played Illinois. We played Missouri. We played Ohio. And we played Mississippi State. Okay. Now you're looking at the plays. The reason I showed you that, you can see the money line. We played obviously a lot of money line dogs, but what I want to do is I just wanted you to see that first, just to confirm that that's what we actually did. And now I'm going to take you over to this screen here. Now, here is the problem. You say, what's the most common error that amateurs and professionals make? They don't play money line dogs in football. And here's the issue. Let me first start off with amateurs. The reason amateurs don't play money line dogs in college football and NFL is they're not educated, right? They're ignorant about it. And again, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying there's a lot of things in life that I'm ignorant about. But usually for me, when I want to learn something, I go to the education source via YouTube channel. When I remodeled my beach house about 6 years ago, I learned everything on YouTube. I'd never remodeled a house. So what I had to do was I was ignorant about how to do it. So I had to educate myself to do it. And that's what I'm doing in this video. But what people think is that football is a spread sport. But in reality, it's actually a money line sport because money line dogs cash all the time, college football and NFL. But people aren't educated about it, and they think that because it's a spread sport, they're supposed to play teams on the spread line. All right, so you look at these wagers over here on the left. This is what I played. We won James Madison, one with Florida International, one with Rutgers, one with Missouri. Whoops, I don't have that. Oh, I didn't put this one in here. My bad. And we won with Ohio. So we had 5 wins and 4 losses. Now, what I'm going to show you in this first example, I'm going to show you the traditional way that most people would have played this. And a lot of professionals too. And let me cover that point. The reason a lot of professionals still play majority spreads is that they've been successful doing that. Now, in business, and I've always said you need to run your sports betting careers however you want to label it, like a business, because the premise of any business is to turn a profit. So if you have expectations of profit in sports betting, you're basically running a business. So even though they may have been profitable, that's not the best way to do it. Let me give you another example. I made a major change in this business with regards to the client side about 2 years ago. My best friend, very successful, makes anywhere from $300,000 to $400,000 a year, knows nothing about my business, sports handicapping, but is a smart business person. He told me, you need to make this change. I didn't want to make this change. Why didn't I want to make this change? Because I was profitable and successful doing it the way I'd always done it. He said, I'm telling you, you will make more money if you make this change. Well, guess what? When I made the change, guess what happened? Made more money. So that's the reason a lot of professionals are reluctant to do it this way, even though it's a better, more efficient, more profitable way to do it. All right, so let's dive into it. So here's what this would have looked like had I wagered the traditional way, which is just taking the points or playing the spread. James Madison won plus 100, and I'm going to use minus 110 juice just for the sake of this for all of them. I actually got a little bit better odds when I wager for real because I have different books to pick from. Lost Tennessee, lost La Monroe, so it's minus 110 we lose. Won Florida, won Rutgers, lost Illinois, won Missouri, won Ohio, lost Mississippi State. So if you add all that up, we went 5-4. Now that's good. 5-4 is 55% win percentage. However, the profit was, and let's just use this. Let's use $100 because that's reality. That's actually what I wagered on all these. So we had $900 at risk, and if you'd have done it the quote traditional way, you'd have risked $900 and you would have won $60. Okay, profitable. And I've always said if you're profitable in this business, that's a good thing. Okay. However, we played James Madison. Let's go ahead and show you this. Slide over here. Give me 1 second to zoom this out. Okay, there we go. All right. So James Madison doing it the way that I do it. I can't remember the line. I think they were plus 2.5, plus 3. We played them on the money line. They win. So that's plus 125. We win. And of course, Tennessee, Monroe, we lose. It's a minus 110 loss. Florida International, that was the big dog we hit. I think they were, I can't remember the line. I want to say plus 3.5, plus 4. It might have been more than that. So we played them on the money line. We had them as huge favorites via my model. That's why I did it. And another important part of this whole concept, you have to have a good model, because I think the model had Florida International minus 7. It might have even been minus 10. I can't remember. Should have had. Hang on 1 second. Let's check and see. I'll tell you, because I have it here, and I think that's important. Because, again, you can't do this business without a model. I've said that before. Whoops. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Florida International minus 7. So, again, important to have a model. So if my model's predicting them to win outright, it's advantageous to play them on the money line, and they did win. Close game, but they won, and they actually won by 7, I think. So that was plus 240. Rutgers won that one. Played them on the spread. Illinois, we lost. Missouri, very close game. Again, my model had, this is another, this is kind of an advanced teaching point, but I'll make the point here. My model had Kansas State minus 4. However, as you know, this was only the third week of college football, so we had limited data. So there's a margin of error in my power rankings, margin of error in the books line. So it was relatively close. I mean, if it's only a 4-point spread, we know that game's going to be close. However, Missouri was the non-public team, and the line moved in their favor late. So we had some reverse line movement in favor of Missouri, and we were getting dog money, obviously, at plus 150. So we played that and cashed that one. Ohio, same deal there. They were the home team. Also note Missouri was a home team as well. Home teams win 70% of the time in college football. So we played Ohio, got a little bit of money line dog money there at plus 111. Now watch this. So let's add all this up. $286. So my point is the way that you should play is NFL, college football. You have to incorporate playing money line dogs. And again, I know it's a simple question. Would you rather make $60 a day or would you rather make $286 a day? It's the same exact plays, but you're changing your approach. It would be the same as a business owner. Let's say a business owner, similar to the situation I mentioned with my best friend. Do you want to make a 10% profit selling the same products and services, or do you want to make 30% profit selling the same products and services? You want to make 30%. It's a much better, more efficient way to play. And again, people don't do it this way because, again, they haven't, number one, been educated, or the way that they're doing it, they've been profitable, but again, it's not the most efficient. That's why you'll still see professional handicappers do it this way. Now, let's go to the NFL example. And again, just for disclosure, I didn't play these, but I did send them out on Instagram. I don't have the screenshot, but if anybody's watching, they can chime in. So I sent these out on my Instagram storyline. Didn't screenshot it to show for this video, but I got any of those guys can vouch for it. So anyway, the plays that I sent out: Tampa, Detroit, Tennessee, Washington, New England. Again, went 3-2 on these plays, which is really good. So we basically had 500 at risk and made, let me show you the ROI. So we risked 500, right? Technically, we didn't play it, but I'm just using this example. And we made 80. So you would take 80 divided by 500, and you made a 16% profit, which is pretty good, right? That's pretty good profit, 16% return. You think of the stock market, if you're making 16% a year in your IRA, 401k, that's an extremely good yield. And again, this is the traditional way to play. However, money line dogs cash more in NFL than they do in NCAA football. And just to give you a point of reference, what would be your guess is the percentage that dogs have covered year to date for NFL? Right now, this is we just finished week 2 of the NFL season. What percentage have underdogs covered ATS? Year to date, underdogs have covered 60%. I'm going to repeat that, 60%. NFL is a dog sport. It always has been, and it always will be. And as you know, I've made the last video. You can go back and research this. In NFL, teams that win also cover 80% of the time. I think the first week it was 86%. This past week, I just sent that on Instagram. It was 69%. So it's going to average about 80. That's not going to change. It's been that way since I had this model, maybe 2016, 2017. So that's what the sport is. And the reason it is, all these teams are tight. The most common number teams win by in NFL is 3. The next most common number is 7. And after that, it's in between there. So the games are real tight, not much advantage to take in the points for a money line dog. So again, we'll do the same thing here. Let me get this out here. Okay. So Tampa Bay, I think they were -3, so that would have been 100. Lost Detroit -110, and that was a close one. That could almost win that one. Tennessee wins in overtime on the money line, +135. Washington had a late scare there, but came back with a win there, +175. New England lost. Now, this is important to note. This is another reason why this is much more efficient, much more profitable way to play. New England lost, right? Got blown out. Well, didn't get blown out. I think they lost by, I can't remember. But anyway, here's the point. Look at the traditional way. You would have lost 110, -110. The way that I prefer, if you played them on the money line, you would have only lost 100. You'd have paid no juice on that loss. So therefore, if you look at this overall, look what we would have won, $200. in comparison to 80. Now let's look at the ROI, the return on investment there. 40% return as opposed to what, a 16% return. And here's another thing to consider. We could have lost, let's say Tennessee loses minus 100. What, did I do that right? Okay, we would have lost. Maybe that wasn't a good point to make. But still, like even with that example, you can see, Leo, let's put that back because I want to show that. So again, we went 2-3 here, and we're only down 0.35. If we would have went 2-3 the traditional way, we would have been down minus 120. You see what I'm saying? So even on a losing day, your losses will be less incorporating moneyline dogs. Good point, MG. All right, so I don't know any other way to explain it to you. Now that you've been educated, this is the correct way to play it, obviously. And these plays for NFL came from the model, so the model has to be good to know when to play those. But the point is, if especially if it's a line, a plus 2.5 line does you no good. Let me show you another example. Let me see if I have this pulled up. Okay, and oh wait, let me share the screen. My bad. All right. So you see where it says minus 110 and out beside that says 52.4. If all you play are spreads, you play no money lines in NFL, you basically have to hit 53% to turn a profit. And to turn a decent profit, you need to be upwards 54, 55%. Whereas for me, I can hit 50% because I incorporate a lot of money line dogs and turn a profit. So again, I'm going to walk through this with me. Is it easier to hit 50% or is it easier to hit 55%? It's easier to hit 50%, irregardless playing dogs, favorites, etc. Especially in NFL when we already know dogs cover, and if a dog covers majority of the time, it's 60% right now. That will regress back. Some seasons it's like 52%. I think last year it was 55%. That's cover. Of those teams that cover, they're going to win outright 80% of the time. So if you play dogs on the money line in NFL and the model's good, you'll be extremely profitable long term. So anyway, that's a wrap on this video. Hopefully you can learn this and start to incorporate this into your handicapping. If you want access to college football model that you see here that was successful, and you also get NFL power rankings just came out yesterday. So you can get power rankings for all sports, also soccer. In addition to that, all my coaching videos on the website, $50 a month. That's all it is. There's a link to join the description box. If you want to access all my plays, that's $100 a month. And the best value, you can join for an entire year. If you played month to month, it'd be $1,200. Or you can join for an entire year, get access to everything, $500. If you're interested in sign up for a coaching program, I coach with you daily, one-on-one, how to build stat models. There's a link as well to sign up for email, get more information about that. Good luck this week. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and talk to you guys soon. Peace.